What would it be like to be a fly on the wall in a life coaching session? What's a life coach capable of that an AI life coach chatbot isn't? Those are the questions I'm answering today as I pull back the curtain on some coaching conversations I had this week with my clients. We go deep on things like money blocks, life vision, self trust, shame, fear, and the question that plagues us all: how do we get more done? And the answers and truths the answers and truths revealed, and the answers and truths that we revealed surprised us all. Before we dive into these live coaching sessions, if you're new here, I'm Ellen, a certified life coach, a singer, a mother, and a lover of alliteration, dogs, and deep conversation. And this is the Contentment Creator Channel, the show designed especially for creative entrepreneurs to dig deep to clarify your life vision, catalyze your creative flow, and fuel your entrepreneurial fire. So, if you're interested in topics around personal development and healing, entrepreneurship and empowerment, and creativity and authenticity, please subscribe for more. Now, let's get into some coaching.
So the question I have is during my consultations, how do I continue the conversation after they say yes and then I share the price and they still say they're good with it, but and like they still say I'm a yes, I just need to figure things out or go look at my budget. And they'll schedule a follow-up call. But then either generally cancel and be like, not right now. So I think the problem is I'm still struggling to talk about money, and continue and like ask for permission to like, okay, like to actually coach around it. Um, and I'm still struggling with the belief that reclaiming one's health pretty much at any cost is worth it, or that coaching with me is worth going, finding the money to invest in themselves in order to get the results that they want. Um, and then the other thing that came up is that definitely the last consultation I had, like I scheduled it too soon. I had just moved out of my apartment. I was staying with a friend and still shifts hadn't even gotten my car packed. It was just still in this in between space of the transition to where I am now. And I I now recognize, like, I while booking a consultation sooner than later is preferable, if I don't have the bandwidth to show up, I didn't do either of us any good. Um, but what I really want is to be brave and ask clarifying questions after I share my price, even when they say yes. Like, okay, if you need to go figure things out, like, what exactly does that mean? How will you know you figured it out? When you say you're look at your budget, like, would you mind, what's coming up? What else is coming up for you? I feel like I just kind of I try to ask some questions, but from this space of I've lost my confidence and like leadership in the conversation. And I'm handing it over to them. And why does it matter to me? Um, because they've come asking for help and I've started to give it to them, and then I'm like, "Oop, I haven't followed it through to the end." Um, and so then they end up not getting what they need, and I don't know. Now they've gone off into the ether, and who knows what's happening. So and this is the key to me actually serving my people. And I feel like really the ones that are on in that sort of in between are the ones that really need my help the most.
So, for the purposes of this conversation, let's entertain that happening over and over again is a pattern of our own creation
Oh, 100%.
and an opportunity to look in the mirror. So, What are you saying yes to, but actually a no underneath about?
Maybe my business as a whole?
When you
Uh,
started to share about losing your confidence towards the end of a conversation,
yeah,
that was the first indicator to me that this is a you conversation.
right.
So, what are you scared of?
While I want to say the uncomfortable thing and risk the relationship and dive into that discomfort, I'm also scared of it. While knowing, like, that's the thing, this is the whole point, this is where the breakthroughs are for me and for my clients. I'm also wondering if, like, was this, like, some subconscious effort to get out of the apartment I was in? Even though, like, making more money would have been one way out of the apartment. Having the courage to just make a decision of, like, "Okay, this apartment and this location isn't serving me anymore, and I'm okay with just going out on the road." Like, it's almost like I wasn't willing to make that decision until it became financially just a point where, like, "Well, I don't have enough money, I don't have a choice." Whereas it would've it would also be really nice to be in a position where I have a full client load and still make that decision. And then, like, I can have it all. I can still have location freedom while serving my clients, while making enough money to support myself fully, pay my bills, and be generous and giving to others.
So then what is your I'm a yes on the outside, but I'm really terrified and maybe a no on the inside about money?
I'm terrified to talk about it.
What's the feeling you get when you talk about it?
Well, I'm okay. I've gotten to a point where I'm okay talking about my money, but it's like in that conversation of questioning how they're spending their money, feeling like it needs to be private. I guess I'm afraid I'm of looking like I'm questioning how they're spending their money or not spending money.
So what are you
So
avoiding feeling or experiencing that is actually unavoidable on the path to being a full-bodied yes?
I mean, the thing that comes up, which doesn't feel like it makes sense, is the discomfort of having money and managing it.
Because what would that mean about you?
I don't even know.
What's the emotion coming up?
I guess shame, guilt, regret. Like, it's not like I know how to manage money. And yet, for some reason, while having enough of it, I was scared of it. I handed it all over to Brian. And because of that, like, I feel like that's why I'm in the position I'm in now. Why it took me so long to see what was going on and to walk away. And now I feel like I just can't dig myself out of the hole.
What's it gonna take for you to forgive yourself?
I know it intellectually, but I don't believe it in my heart.
What would it take to let it in your heart, the forgiveness?
I don't know, like, I feel like I don't know how to do that.
I don't believe that for a second. Emmy, you're an endlessly forgiving and compassionate soul. What makes you think that everybody else gets that, but you don't?
I guess I feel like I feel like I'm still not being as responsible as I should be.
Shoulding, shaming. So what? So what if you aren't? Are you not still worthy of love and forgiveness and endless permission?
Yeah. And I'm getting better. I've been tracking everything. And I mean, using my budgeting app. I don't feel like I'm in a space where I don't even know how to budget ahead right now, but like I'm keeping track of the cash that I'm spending so that I have an idea of like what I know where everything is going.
May I offer something to you?
Yeah.
The path to your clients being a yes, you being a yes to money is leaning into when shame shows up and being willing to choose forgiveness without reason, without justification, without evidence of I'm doing the choosing forgiveness, compassion, love. I know you are vastly capable of doing that. It's just a practice of choosing. So every time that shame about money comes up, lean in and forgive. Willing to practice that?
So my problem, I think the problem is that I've never had a clear vision of what I want my life to look like. And expound upon that a little bit is I'm feeling very much in like messy middle of my life, and like I feel like I'm doing a lot, like I'm busy, and but I feel like I'm kind of not doing anything at all. I don't feel like I'm having some sort of like impact. I don't, um, which I'm not entirely sure is true, but I feel that way sometimes. And I said I'm not necessarily unhappy, but I wrestle with like this feeling of needing clarity. But I don't know really what I need clarity on. So like I said, I feel like I've never really had this clear vision for my life. For the longest time I was trying to be a singer, and that kind of, I still sing and I still work on it, but it's not like my whole identity. And then I have kids, I'm a wife and I teach cycling and whatever. But what I really want is a feeling of being settled. I feel like inner chaos all the time. Um, and it's not like I don't want to say it's like a tortured feeling, but it is like a little bit of turmoil sometimes where you're just like, and I can't settle. And why is this important to me is because I just want to feel safe and confident in who I am. Um, and I like just want to feel like I'm doing something that matters. To whom I don't know, like this, like I'm all like I think sometimes I actually do feel good, and then I question myself for various number of reasons. So that is where I'm coming from.
Before we move into all of the juicy opportunities here for you, what is the emotion that comes up when you share about that?
I guess it's like a shame, like, it- like I'm I'm embarrassed, you know. Like I feel like I'm supposed to have it all together, and I'm supposed to have I don't know, like when you talk to people about like I ran into an old colleague last night when I was leaving this fundraising event. And he knows me from through singing, and he was like a mentor, and he's asking, "Are you still singing? Are you singing enough?" Like, and I'm like, "I'm singing, like I just was saying." But I'm not. I feel like I don't have anything showy about my life, but like, who cares? I don't know. It's like, why do I care about that?
Mm. I'm curious about this part of you. If we imagine that our brains are like a boardroom full of people sitting at a table, and this person sitting at the table is the shamer, is the one with all the shoulds, is the one with all the disappointment and the what are you even, the judgment. Who is she and how old is she? And tell us about her.
Um, Sorry. I've been processing a lot of this the past couple of years, so um, it's like her voice is in my head a lot. Like, um, the who do you think you are, and or like that question, like that comes up a lot, or like I don't know why, like the questions are like things they just really can burn. Like, well, did you think your life was gonna look like this? And I'm like, I don't really know what my life. I like again, I've never really had clear vision for my life. Like, I wasn't the girl who was like, I'm gonna be married with kids and a white picket fence. Like, I never dreamt about my life, like, and fantasized about all the things I would do in the future. It was just like, oh, I'm gonna be a singer because I'm good at it. Like, and then that pan out the way. Like, singing has been the hardest thing to do in my whole life. Like, I've had the biggest struggle with my voice. Like, and still do, like, to this day. I'm 36 years old and I have 2 degrees and like an advanced like certificate in singing, and like, but yeah, that definitely some of that. And I don't know, like, I don't know why I keep carrying that. And then I also feel I'm like, maybe I'm making that up. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's just like the external world, or maybe it's something I made up in my head. Maybe I'm crazy.
Mm.
Um, you know, so
Well, the beauty of this work, of this conversation, of being a human is that that voice represents that role in your life, the person that inserts the shoulds, inserts the shame, or makes the judgments of, are you sure about that? What about this? The questioner. And all of us carry that. It's a part of all of us. And my question to you is, what makes her voice louder than other people's at your boardroom or in your boardroom? Who gives her the microphone?
I mean, I do. Like, I
Why do
think
you think you do that?
conditioning, like, it's like I feel conditioned to question myself
Mhm.
all the time, whether it be because of like that person or a variety. There have been plenty of people who have doubted me, or maybe even had like the best interest at heart in questioning me, but you know, still that like you're like, oh, maybe I can't trust myself. This actually came up recently where I felt like I couldn't trust myself for this. It was this is like, it's so embarrassing, but like I will share it. And my daughter really, she got like a stuffy day at school. And so she really wanted to take this bear that was my bear that when I was little. And I'm protective of the bear. And even my husband and I both were like, I don't know, honey, like, let's pick a different stuffy. And, cause she's 5.5, like, she's not even 6, she's in kindergarten. And, I said, let's not. And then, but she was like, please, please, please. And that, like, it's like, she really wanted to do it. And like, I was like, you know what, let me give her this opportunity, like, to like take responsibility and that. So I said, you know what, honey, you know, I know you really care about Bear. I know I know you know how important Bear is. Yeah, I know you'll take care of it. Well, she left him on the bus. Of course. Then, like, there was this whole thing, you know, and I was like, why did I trust? One, why did I do that to her? Like, that was a little unfair, like, to put that much responsibility on her. I was like, she thinks she can do it. But then why did I do that? Like, why did I can't trust that that was like the good decision to make. Like, and so I felt like I can't trust me again, like, yet again, I can't trust myself, like, to make the right decisions. Um, Again, like, silly, small example, but,
It's
uh,
not silly or small. Yeah.
like, anyway, I like digress, but
Well, you didn't actually because, I mean, you pulled a layer back from the, "I've never had a clear vision of my life." Well, how can you have a clear vision of your life if you've never trusted yourself? What's the scariest part about trusting the CEO voice in you, the true Logan at the table?
that's gonna be wrong, that it's all wrong. Like, that I'm not making the right choices. I'm not, like, which is so like, when I say that out loud, I'm like, why would you think that about yourself? Like, um,
But there's
I,
that voice again. That's just that voice again doing the thing again.
um, yeah, like, just what if it's the wrong choice? Like, so
What do you feel in your body if you believe you got it wrong?
I don't know. I just like want to recoil, you know, like, I just want to hide.
What would happen if you were to embody that right now? The feeling of like, I totally got that bear situation wrong. And I'm embodying that feeling of like, I fucked it up. And the recoiling is happening.
Yeah. I'm like,
What? hmm What would happen if you fell in love with that feeling instead of avoided it?
I have no idea what that would feel like.
Well, if
I'm
you're
trying to,
feeling it right now, what
yeah.
would happen if you welcomed it instead of tried to escape it as soon as possible?
I don't know. There's a bit more openness. It's like in singing, like, you know, I've always wanted to get singing perfect. And like, anytime I make a bad sound, I basically stop any form of progress because I'm not allowing for the mistakes. I'm not allowing for like the messy middle, like, where it's not all perfect. But like, when I actually just had a lesson yesterday, and I think this is why there's so much coming up right now, because it was like, even when I did like the nasty sounds, like, it progressed into something like, usable, you know, and something that I felt proud of, and something that I was like, it just, you just kind of, and I had like a word vomit story on my Instagram where I was just like, you just kind of like release into everything and you just open up, and it's like, and so that's why, like, I feel like I cry all the time because I feel like I always am trying to like calm my nervous system in a way and just like open up, you know, and release whatever has been held. I feel like I've held on so much. I don't even know what's in there anymore. But
Yeah. What if every time you bumped into that recoiling was just another, oh, I've got another like tension to release here.
yeah,
What would that change about the feeling, about the experience of the feeling?
I just think it wouldn't like last as long, and I wouldn't like be so feel so like beaten down by it, you know? I could actually like step into it, do something with it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, even just hearing you speak, it feels like there's still unintentionally an arrival point that you're waiting for. Like this is supposed to be like, I don't feel this thing anymore. And I suddenly am just always open and always happy and always trusting my vision. And it's always there. And that ain't life. None of us on this call knows what that feels like. And the I would assert, if I may, there's two different avoidances going on. One being this recoiling thing signals to that part of you, there's something wrong and there's something wrong with me. And, that recoiling of like, oh no, I was just beginning to lean in and trust this thing. And now I bumped into this tension thing again, this recoiling, this shame, that voice. And that means something about me. And you're avoiding that opportunity to unravel whatever you just bumped into you. And then also, it's fucking terrifying to experience joy. So, of course, our brain is going to come in every time things are starting to just be like, I'm rolling, my voice is working, my life looks beautiful, I'm in love with my husband, my kids are amazing. Of course, our brains are going to be like, bah, and they're going to unhinge that thing because it's vulnerable to experience joy. So that's why I'm curious, like, what if we were to allow 5% more space for joy and 5% more space for that recoiling tension?
Yeah.
What do you see?
Um, it's interesting you brought up like the joy thing because that voice like comes back because there's a lot of sadness in that voice, and I feel like I'm not allowed to be happy. Like I'm not like something's always got to be wrong. Something's always wrong. Like you're always kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop, essentially. Yeah.
Well, what do you know to be true
I
about
mean,
your life?
what do you mean? Like what do you sorry, what do you mean?
I just mean, that's that voice's opinion. Like something's always got to be wrong. If you're happy, then you must be missing something, whatever that voice may be trying to dig up. What do
Yeah.
you, Logan, know to be true about your life?
I know, like my life's pretty like I feel on the whole, like I'm actually good. Like I actually like I love cycling. I love showing up in this space and helping people in this way. I love being able to move my body. Like as hard as being a parent is, I love my kids. They're like I wouldn't be the person I am today without them. And like my husband is amazing and like so supportive of all the things that I do. And I like in a way that like, I feel like I don't deserve, which I know isn't true, you know. Um, so I'm kind of like, maybe this is maybe this like I said, I feel like there like you said, like I'm waiting for like some arrival or like something else. But like what's this like what is that? I don't know. And that's why I'm like, oh, I need clarity. I need like more vision for my like this for to expound upon what? Like, I mean, sure, I could have like more goodness in my life, but like my life is pretty good.
My challenge and offering to you to carry forward is, what if I were to place as much space and trust to Logan's voice, the true you's voice, that you currently give to that shame voice in your head? Because she has a lot of sway, a lot of volume, and a lot of power in what weight you give to the thoughts. We all have these thoughts. You are not alone in having those shame and judgment and questioning and doubt and, you know, lack of clarity. All of that is present in all of us. But that how much you believe that voice, how much you space you give that voice, how long you give the microphone to that voice, that's all in practice. And if you were to give 10, 50, 100% of the time that you're currently giving airtime to that voice, what might open up in your experience of your own life? Granted, it's never going you're never going to experience we've arrived, right? Like there's some point where that voice doesn't participate in the conversation or she doesn't have something to say about everything. And she gets to, we've all seen Inside Out. Like we know that all the voices have a purpose and have um, good intentions for us in terms of trying to protect us and serve their roles. And at the same time, joy is who we innately truly are. And it's the balancing act of hearing the thoughts and allowing our true selves to be the ones we believe over the voices of these other parts of the boardroom.
Yeah. Yeah.
So are you willing to take that, noodle with it?
Yeah, no, that's really good. Thanks.
Of course, of course.
So the question I have is, what new structures would bridge the gaps for me to automate more routines in my life? That's the first question. And yeah, the underlying question is like, what is the stuckness actually about? Um, Obviously there's more than 2 steps to this process. And so I think the problem I have is there's a part of me that is kind of focused on those outside solutions. I'm like, well, someone somewhere has cracked this and will just give me a 12-step process. There are also like the parts that do get distracted by like, well, life shouldn't be this way. Like if Paul had done that thing sooner, or like if I hadn't spent time doing this or whatever. Um, okay, what I really want is like that quickness aspect. Like if you're cycling and you work at it for long enough, you get faster. Like you might cover 10 miles in a quicker time frame. It still feels hard if you're still working at it. And so I'm like, I want to move through those feelings of guilt and like resentment for past versions of myself and the feelings of like the woe is me. I want to move through those things quicker so that my focus again comes back to like how do we get there? Or like what's the next thing? This matters to me because I just deserve it, damn it. And if I want to regain that mental time, like that mental space and the energy I have been putting towards like, how do I make sure that the cat litter is done? And what would it take for me to actually write for 10 minutes in the morning and like take back that mental space so that I can focus on like new or unique projects? Like maybe it's like a creative thing or something.
What has you relate to it as stuck?
Well, okay, so part of it is like I got a diagnosis late in life of ADHD. And actually, I was using like stimulants, like pharmaceutical stimulants, as part of like bridging my gap. So it's like, hey, take this drug and it will help your brain work in a way that is known by whoever they is, like society, to help you get the things done. And I'm at a point in my life and journey where I'm like, yep, that's not it. Like that worked until it didn't. And now I need and want the next thing. Um, and so, again, like for today, I can put aside those voices that are just like, well, why doesn't my brain work like that? Or like, I can look and see that, my neighbor mows their lawn every day and it doesn't seem difficult for them. And, maybe it is in their own way. But again, it's like okay, I can acknowledge where I'm at, but I still would like to take a step in a different direction. Like, I don't want to stand still here. Or like I can sometimes, but not all the time.
Okay, so it seems clear to me that we are in a conversation bigger than how do I get more stuff done?
Yeah. Like I can identify all the reasons why, like complete house tasks relate to the vision that I have for my life overall.
And what do you want more of in that life that you envision?
Yeah. Well, I feel like the biggest thing is connection and relationship. And so, like, have felt just like so grateful for the moments. Like last night, my husband and I like spontaneously hosted dinner for some other friends, and like the conversation that ensued. Like, I know that part of what I have to offer the world is providing a safe space, like literally, and like metaphysical juju that I bring into the world. And so the chores are just a distraction, or the undone chores are distraction, because I want to be more present. I know that I have the capacity to be more present. And I notice when I'm like, oh, I can move through the discomfort of like, man, the kitchen's not as clean as I would like it to be when I host guests. And I'm like, I can move past that, still host the guests. And also, it's still taking up space in my brain. So that's where kind of for me, the both and comes in of like, okay, I can, I don't feel shy to do the mental work of like, it's obviously not necessarily always about the chores. But sometimes I'm like, okay, it's not about the chores, but I'm still standing on this side of the bridge, quote unquote, where the chores are undone and I see opportunity for myself to get the chores done.
So, if this is not about the chores, what's the relationship that you want?
I want to relate to myself as though I'm my own priority. Like as though I'm my first priority. Like I have trust in myself, I have trust in my friends that they're going to come into my house and not see the kitchen, but I also feel again like I deserve it. Like I want to gift myself the experience of life where I walk into the kitchen and it's clean. Like it's not cluttered, like because, to the point of I'm not arriving anywhere because it's a cycle, especially with chores. Like the dishes get clean, then they get dirty again. Like the lawn gets mowed, the grass grows back. The garden is weed free and then it's not. And so, it genuinely is never going to be this one moment in time. Like, sure, we do get those snapshots where it's like, great, the cleaning guy was just here and no one has cooked again. It's like, great. But right, I'm not going to not live in my kitchen. I'm not going to stop living my life.
Yeah. So, if we were to take the analogy that you created earlier about getting on a bike and
Right.
bike ride doesn't get different, you get, faster to keep practicing and to keep improving your own experience of that thing. What is that bike?
Maybe like the doing.
Just keep doing the doing, and how your brain responds to it is the thing that shifts over time.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Like,
Or to be done with it.
going back to that question, what is the bike that you're training on in order
Yeah.
to
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
experience more of that life?
Well, I would say it's like the shift in the priority.
Yeah.
It's again that moment where I'm like, hey, let me do my chore first because that's what I want. Because
Mhm.
I want that, even if it means like saying no to a social outing or saying like not yet to a friend who is calling. Um, yeah, like just practicing more of that shift of like, I get to be my first priority and that's fine.
My question is, should I be raising my price for this long-standing program that I am running again? Same program, people come and stay for years. They come over and over and over again. I have long-standing clients. Am I allowed to actually change the price on them on this same? And I think the problem is that I am afraid that people will leave if I change anything about the offer. And that is in tension with the fact that I feel stagnant if I don't make any change. If I just keep doing the same thing, then how am I progressing? And I say that knowing that that is exactly the selling point that I give to them. Like, the program is the same, but you are different every single year that you do it. And also, like, on the other side of my business, I'm a huge stand for musicians to raise their rates regularly, for musicians to not get stuck in their teachers, their elementary teachers' pricing for lessons and continue to charge $60 an hour, like, into infinity. And so who am I if I'm not doing that for myself? And what I really want is to believe that I'm actually worthy of that higher rate, and that the people who are already in my program love me enough and respect me enough to come along with me. But I want to respect them and their budgets as well. Like, yes, the world is getting increasingly expensive. That is true for me, but it is also true for everybody in the world that I am working with. And it matters to me a lot. It's important because it matters that I remain in service and in integrity, both to the long-standing members of my program and to new members. And apparently it matters to me what outside observers think too. And to be totally clear, the difference in price that I am contemplating is $400 over the course of a year. It is nothing. It's so small and it's feeling so triggering to me. And I've played with a lot of numbers around this. So, like, less than 5% of the overall, no, that's not quite correct. Less than 10% of the overall program price.
Mm. Mm. The question, going all the way back to the beginning, that you asked stood out to me, because the three frames of the way you said it were, can I, should I, and am I allowed? What do you think of that?
It's fine. I can do anything I want.
Mm.
It's like, and that's what I would tell to anybody else who was asking me a similar question. It's fine. Like,
But you just said that you're also aware of other people's opinions mattering. So whose permission are you seeking?
well, obviously, the the pricing is always a conversation between me and the clients. And the free market would suggest that if my price goes too high, they will go away. And of course, that's not the only factor in this. It is, the level of service that they get, that they have seen, what they can imagine for themselves. And this is why money feels so complicated, right? It feels so emotional to me and no doubt to them. Okay, the question you asked was, whose permission do I need? And on the one hand, without my clients, I do not have a program. And if I raise my price to a place that they are unwilling to pay, then I do not have a program. I don't think that's what I'm thinking about. So I don't know that I need permission from them, but I need buy-in from them.
May I challenge on something that you said? Oh, I want you to
Yeah.
finish before I interrupt. Go ahead.
I mean, there are no like business bosses looking over my shoulder going, you can, you cannot, you should, you shouldn't.
Sure. Well, if this is about you and the clients, and one of your mainstay re-enrollment statements is the program's the same, but you're different, is it fair to say that your program has gained value every time that you've done it in
Every
terms of
time.
what you deliver?
100%.
Okay. So if what you want is to believe that you're worthy, your head knows, we've just established that. Who else needs to buy in you?
I mean, I don't know who. I don't know who.
Or what?
But there's a feeling of how dare I change the price because it might appear that I am peer. People will think that. Everyone is looking at me. Everyone is thinking that I'm doing that out of greed. I'm doing it out of wanting more than I'm entitled to getting. I'm not sure what the question is I'm answering, but there's a definite feeling of if I change this offer, which has not changed in price in the last 3 years, it's obviously because I am greedy. And
So
greed,
that's what you're making it mean.
that's
Or
what I'm making it be.
assuming that they're making it mean.
Correct, yes.
The loops our brains play.
Yeah.
Okay. So your heart is afraid of being misrepresented. Is it fair to say your clients know your heart?
Yeah. I would think that would be fair. We have been working closely together for at least the last 9 months and in many cases the last 5 years.
Okay. Do you know your heart?
Generally,
What's a mystery still?
I don't know. Sometimes my motivations are not that clear to me, and sometimes my motivations are a little suspect to me. Like
What
me-
what is a justifiable motivation where you encourage your clients to raise their rates?
I encourage my clients to raise their rates because uh, they are themselves improving and learning every single year. Because the work that they do is high value, high humanity, high emotional impact, in addition to uh, like intellectual impact.
Mhm.
Because in this world, we need more of this kind of analog showing up for each other,
Mhm.
this kind of real time, human to human. I see you. I see what you're trying to do. I can help you do it better. I see what is in your heart. I see why you care. And there is less and less of that available to us in 2026. Like, it would be easy to spend your whole life interacting with machines and people only in customer service roles and not actually strive for greater things. But humans need that. And I think I'm supposed to be answering for my clients.
Well, we both know that you're answering two questions
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this journey that they are on of self improvement, guided by a mentor, is so increasingly rare in this world. And the emotional labor that comes from the leader of the group is substantial
Mhm.
and is worthy of being paid for.
Well, you just coached yourself into a circle, so where are we now? What will it take for you to believe that you're worthy? Or is it just a matter of being afraid and doing it anyway?
You know what, Ellen? I think it's that. I think it's exactly that, and I think it's that I'm craving. There's nothing really wrong with the price as it has been established. And I remember 3 years ago, or maybe it was 2 years ago, I don't know, a couple of summers back, where I was agonizing about the most recent price increase of this program. and like really came to an aha moment and felt the fear and did it anyway and loved that. Like I love that adrenaline feeling of this is a risk, but here we go.
We know the path towards what you want requires an experience of fear. So what if we get to enjoy that feeling? What if we lean into that feeling instead of being afraid of fear or avoiding the shit out of it?
Well,
What if fear gets to be adrenaline like a roller coaster? What if fear gets to be, what they say, anxiety is excitement without the breath? What if it gets to just be,
yeah. What if the reason for raising my price is that it feels scary to me and I want to welcome that fear?
how much have you gotten out of watching teachers and mentors walk their talk?
I mean, a ton.
What an opportunity to lead. Is your heart willing to step into that fear and courage of being that pioneer, of being that leader?
I mean, I want to say yes. I want to say absolutely. And, it- you know, I've been spinning about this question for weeks now, and it is not a large amount of money. Um, I absolutely want to say yes. Like I would like to lean into this fear. I would like to just name the new number, which is, a fraction higher than it was before, and trust that people will go along with me. You know what it is? It feels selfish to drag people along on my own like personal journey into fear. Um it feels selfish to like just because that is the excitement and adrenaline that I want to have going forward. Like why shouldn't that cost them $400 more? And on the other hand, I have a ton of useful intellectual reasons
Yes, and
why it's important.
heart-based reasons. I mean, you took me down 3 different layers of what it means for your clients to be the analog human relationship service givers in the world. And those were preaching words right from your heart. You have every layer you need. You could totally pitch this as, "Come jump with me. I'm taking a leap here." You could totally frame this as "Here's all the value that you're gaining from rounds and rounds and rounds of this program that I've delivered that have increased the value, you know, and I'm overdue." Or you could approach it from the heart, or you could do all 3. Either way, it
Yeah.
sounds like the thing that your heart needs is to be a part of this conversation in relationship to the hearts of your clients. It needs to be a heart-to-heart communication,
Yeah.
not just I'm raising it for the hell of it, or I'm raising it because of inflation, or I'm raising it because, damn it, I'm worth it, or, I'm raising it because I'm afraid. It's all of the reasons. And also what's most important, it seems like, is what your heart is saying. The reason you coach others to take this leap every time is the same reason you're taking it. So speak heart to their heart.
Yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. With that, we've come to the end of today's episode on the Contentment Creator channel, where we pulled back the curtain in some live life coaching sessions for you to witness my clients gain deeper awareness and hopefully take some new insights away with you too. Whether you caught the whole episode or one of our segments, either way, thank you for making it all the way to the end. And I hope that you are subscribed so you don't miss another episode. Join me in my mission to help a world full of content creators become a world of contentment creators. Bye, y'all.